Okay, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm an Aries and I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Oh man, y'all, it is a privilege to get to celebrate my birthday with y'all. Yes. And happy Women's History Month, y'all. Come on now. I am Kelley Robinson, and I am proud to serve as president of the Human Rights Campaign. I gotta begin tonight with some gratitude to so many champions in the room. Thank you to the HRC boards that are in the house tonight. Thank you to our partner organizations that are here tonight. Give it up for the elected officials in the room on tonight. And I gotta shout out my family that's here. Please give a hand clap for my mama that's here tonight. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my wonderful wife and life partner, Becky with the good hair, George, for being out here tonight. Wow, LA, I don't know about you, but I needed tonight. Yes, I needed to be surrounded by your joy, by your light, and most of all, by your power. Because this city has always been a place where courage speaks, where history listens, and where change begins. So I'm clear that we are gathered here tonight in purpose and on purpose to do some important work together, y'all. I'm clear that we are here because Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson didn't just throw bricks, they threw open the doors to freedom. We are here because Harvey Milk showed the world that LGBTQ plus people belong in power. We are here because folks like Janelle Monáe taught us that the liberation of ourselves and our bodies are one and the same, and sometimes we're gonna have to twerk our way to freedom, y'all. But it's that history, our history, that isn't just on screens. It's what keeps us alive and fighting today. Because to be honest, the times that we are in are not easy. These are not ordinary times, my friends. 59 days. That's all it's been. 59 days under this new administration. 59 relentless days. And in that 59 days, too many of us are living our lives dancing too close to tragedy, too close to crisis, too close to total devastation. Look, no one knows that better than the people that are in this room. The destruction and devastation of the fires left behind so much pain, so much harm, so much tragedy. And so much of that you experienced in LA is also shared by so much of our nation. From layoffs, to plane crashes, to ICE raids, to mass shootings in schools, to the relentless attacks on our community's very right to exist. These crises are not happening in isolation. They are touching every single one of us. The margin between safety and crisis is thinner than most of us want to believe. But here's the thing about crisis. Here's the thing about tragedy. It also has a way of revealing character, doesn't it? And that's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing neighbors helping neighbors, strangers becoming family, people risking everything to save others. It's that kind of moral courage, the courage that Angelenos have shown our nation. That's the courage that we're gonna need to move ourselves and our movement forward, because these are serious times, my friends. And serious times require serious leadership. And if that leadership's not going to come from Washington, D.C., then by God, it better come from people like us in rooms like this that are ready to fight for justice and for equality and for freedom without exception. It better come from us. That's why we're here tonight, my friends. And believe me, I understand that the crisis we're facing is extreme. Every executive action, every congressional betrayal, it lands like a blow. Just this last week, we saw continued attacks on trans lives. We saw threats of cutting critical HIV funding. We saw the gutting of the Department of Education. We saw the defiance of a court order to protect our rights. Here's the thing, y'all. The chaos that we're seeing is not an accident. It is the point. They want to make us invisible. They want us to be powerless. They want us to be erased. But here's the truth. No executive order can overturn our existence, y'all. The Supreme Court's protections of LGBTQ plus workers still stands. Title IX still prohibits discrimination in schools, and our courts are already stepping in to block attacks on trans youth health care. Yes, you can give a hand clap for that. And just this week, a federal judge halted the ban on trans people serving in the military, y'all. Yes. So I'm proud to say that we are doing the work to hold the line, but we also have to acknowledge that these wins are fragile. And when you're in a battle like this, it matters how you fight. It matters who tells the story and who gets to be seen. That's why these attacks, they're not stopping with policy. They go straight to the heart of our culture. Look, when Donald Trump installs himself as chair of the Kennedy Center, when he tries to stop funding for culture and the arts, that's not just a line item, it's a signal. It's a signal that he knows exactly how powerful our stories are. Our stories shape culture. They win Emmys, baby. They pull ratings, baby. They turn movies into movements and albums into anthems, y'all. Our history has proven that in times of crisis, it's our stories that matter, our authentic stories. I mean, could you imagine a world without queer and BIPOC artists and creators? Come on, y'all, talk about milquetoast. Look, who wants Abbott Elementary without Quinta Brunson and Shirley Ralph? Who wants it, right? Who wants to have Emily in Paris without Ashley Park? Who wants that? Who wants Hacks without Hannah Einbinder? Look, we don't just set the trend, we are the trend, baby. Because when we take up space, y'all, on screens, in writers' rooms, in boardrooms, we don't just entertain, we shift culture. We challenge power, we reshape the future, and that terrifies them. Because they know they cannot erase us. Lesbian, gay, bi, trans, and queer people, we have always been here, and we are not going anywhere. Isn't that right? Because what we're fighting for here is the most fundamental of American ideals. The right to live safely, the right to love freely, the right to health care, the right to family and dignity. These are not special rights. These are human rights, my friends. Yes, and for over 40 years, the Human Rights Campaign has been at the forefront of fighting for equality. We've won workers' rights. We've ended military bans. We've changed the way people thought about queer lives when others looked away. We are not and have never been defined by the forces trying to divide us. We have always been defined by our courage. And the thing I love about my job, the thing I love about being at HRC is that I get to see that courage play out every single day. I get to see it in trans teens finding their voices, in parents that are standing up for their LGBTQ plus kids, in teachers creating space for the truth. And here's the thing about courage, y'all, it's contagious. Y'all ever been to an after party and get some glitter on you? That's what courage is like. You can't get it off once it's on you, y'all. And we see it happening everywhere. Just look at the federal workers who resigned rather than go along with Elon Musk and his schemes. Look at Governor Janet Mills telling Trump to his face that if he comes for LGBTQ plus youth in her state, she's going to come for him in court. Did y'all see that? Look at trailblazers like Sarah McBride, the first trans member of the United States Congress. That's the kind of courage we need, y'all. And I want to be very clear tonight about something. Our trans youth are not political bargaining chips, period. I don't care who you are, even if you're the governor of California, you don't make yourself a better presidential candidate by throwing courageous kids under the bus. That's not what you do. That's not how we are. We will stand together. My friends, our path to victory is by bringing people together toward a more hopeful vision of our future, not platforming extremists threatening the very fundamentals of our democracy. Y'all, in this moment, we need allies that have backbones. Allies like Governor Pritzker, who's here tonight. Allies like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who's here tonight. Yes, y'all, because when it comes to equality, we cannot bow and we cannot bend. This fight isn't about politics or principles. This is about people's lives. And while the government may continue to fail us, we have allies in corporate America that continue to step up. Let's give a hand clap for Disney, who's in the room tonight. Disney just saw their shareholders stand with the company and common sense by rejecting a proposal to abandon LGBTQ plus people. When they tried to make Disney walk away from equality, those shareholders didn't just say no. 99% of them said, hell to the no. We're not gonna do it. That's Disney standing tall. That's Disney leading with courage. And they are not alone. We have champions in here from Netflix to Apple that are standing 10 toes down every day. So my message is to corporate America is this. You should not and cannot back down because you are on the right side of history, y'all. And I have to say this, the thing I love about Los Angeles, the thing I love about this community is that we see leadership emerging everywhere, right? I gotta shout out some of the leaders on the ground who are showing up day after day, who truly are transforming lives. I'm talking about folks like Bambi Salcedo, who's here tonight. Like Jinx Beers, who's here tonight. Like the one and only Honey Mahogany, who's here tonight. These are pioneers that are amongst us right now who didn't wait for permission, who didn't just demand change. They created it, y'all. That's the kind of courage that we need, y'all. So look, HRC, this is what gives me hope. We, in this moment of challenge and crisis, are not just sitting in our anxiety. We are taking action. My friends, we were made for this moment. So here's what we're gonna do. Y'all ready for the plan? All right, step one. We gotta cut through the noise. We gotta cut through all the BS that's out there, right? We gotta help people to separate fact from fiction and give clear, actionable guidance. Right now, we're producing toolkits and programs and webinars and town halls so that employers, workers, parents, students, and doctors know their rights. We gotta be able to protect ourselves and our community. That's number one. Number two, we have to amplify the real stories of our people. We got to make sure the world sees how the attacks that are happening right now hurt real people in our communities. So we are seizing control of the narrative. We will not be your scapegoat. We will not be your wedge issue. And we certainly will not be your moral panic, my friends. And three, this is important. We are taking the Trump administration to court, y'all. We have already sued over the unlawful trans military ban, and we are just getting started. Because this moment is about fighting back, but it's also about fighting forward, about unlocking new victories for our people that can transform the future and get us to a greater level of freedom than we've ever seen, felt, or experienced before. That's why we're keeping at it, partnering with corporate America to defend diversity, equity, and inclusion, protecting inclusive schools. And in 2026, We're going to take back pro-equality majorities in the United States Congress and the United States Senate. And we're going to keep California a safe haven for LGBTQ plus youth. So yeah, I got to start to wrap up because my wife told me today is your birthday, not our daughter's birthday, all right? So I can't fool around and break my water on tonight. But I do want to say this, that in moments like this, it's clear what the challenges are, but what we got to remind ourselves is where the hope lives, and the hope lives in all of us. So yes, we face an uphill battle, but I need us to remember who we are. We are the descendants of Marsha P. Johnson and Bayard Rustin and Harvey Milk. They fought when fighting meant losing your job, your family, your freedom, and sometimes your life, but still they fought and still they won. This moment requires that same sort of moral courage that's been demonstrated by the civil rights leaders who came before us. That willingness to act knowing that rights are never simply given but must be claimed and defended, especially when the risks are high. And let me tell you, our ancestors, they used every tool in their toolbox, every tool in their arsenal to win. So, I have to say, God gave us gaydar for a reason, boo, okay? In times like these, it's more than a survival skill, it's a superpower, all right? That ability to clock each other across a crowded room, to spot a friend across enemy lines, to make community out of all of this chaos, all right? That's how we survived then, and it's how we're going to thrive now with the power that has been passed down from those who came before us. As I wrap up, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to carry on the legacy of this fight. And earlier this year, our movement lost a leader, and I lost a dear friend and mentor. Her name was Cecile Richards. She was the longtime president of Planned Parenthood Federation of America. And Cecile taught us to fight every day for a future we could all be proud of and not to settle for anything less. She used to say, it's not hard to imagine future generations one day asking, when there was so much at stake, what did you do? And she would say the only acceptable answer is everything that we could. Everything that we could. And for me, that sentiment is so powerful, especially right now, because in case you hadn't heard or seen, my wife and I are pregnant with our second child on the way. And the thing about when you're expecting, everybody talks about the glow, right? And yes, the melanin is indeed popping. I know you can see it. But what they don't tell you about is the clarity. That with every kick, every heartbeat, I'm reminded of a simple and powerful truth. That the world that we're fighting for, it's not some distant dream. It's right here. It's happening right now. And years from now, when this child asks me what we did in this moment, when trans youth were under attack, when our families were threatened, when our very existence was debated, I pray that I can tell her that we did everything that we could. I pray that I can tell her that we didn't just wait for change to come, but that we fought for it together. That we didn't ask for permission, but we demanded change. That we didn't accept defeat, but we turned the tide of history together. That when we gave everything because love, fierce, uncompromising love demands nothing less. So that's why I'm here tonight, y'all. Not just to give you some information, but to ask you, are you ready to do everything that you can? I'm here to encourage somebody to find some courage on tonight. I'm here to ask you if you're ready to be a part of this fight. I'm here to ask you if you're ready to win. Are you ready to win? Then come on, y'all. Let's fight together and let's get free.